I think I play good. I don't miss any ball, only one position. Very tough for break. It's not easy when you make the ball in the break, but for the game is really good. Everybody knows who is Niels Feijen, is defending champion, but I try to win, good focus for tomorrow.
The players have just received a very well-deserved warm welcome in the arena. And here are our commentators, Carl Boys, is with Phil Yates.
Tom, thank you very much. It's the start of the middle day of this Dafabet World Pool Masters. And we begin with a couple of champions colliding. David Alcaide has come through the first round already. He beat Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz, his fellow Spaniard. And now he's up against a player who's seeded, who didn't have to play in that first round. Niels Feijen, the defending champion, trying to join Shane van Boening. He's only the second player to successfully retain this title.
Yes, Phil, this is a match I'm very excited about. The defending champion, Niels Feijen, against the previous year's winner, David Alcaide, and a very important match for both of these guys because I'm sure Team Europe's captain, Marcus Schamat, is tuned in to watch.
Well, yesterday afternoon, the session was very notable for the fact that we had a large amount of dry breaks. Not so much last night. And we start off today with a dry one.
Yeah, I'm sure my colleague Phil Yates has got some stats on the dry breaks that he'll inform you with shortly.
Well, 22 dry breaks yesterday afternoon, which for 4 matches raised to 7. That's a massive number.
And as you see there, Niels' first shot in this year's championship is a push out. And he has pushed out into a kind of jump shot. But maybe David can go off the side rail. Possibly got that kind of line, but he'll need to use the 7 ball to hold it. But he's decided to go airborne.
That was the other thing yesterday afternoon was notable for some outstanding jump shots.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of jump shot, as you can see, the 1 ball very close to the pocket. The only problem with that shot, it was cue ball control. That's why he's lost it a bit. I don't think he's got a pot at the blue 2. So it's going to be a safety shot from David. And David's had a match on this table already, and it was a high pressure match for him because he was playing his good friend Sanchez, so he'll feel pretty good out there.
Well, fine, just a little short of pace there. Wanted to hide the 2 and hasn't done so.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a tricky shot when you've not had any table time. But he did have a lot of balls to hide behind. As you see David, he's got 3 balls in a kind of line, and that's always your objective. Try and find a line of balls, give yourself a big target. Now I do know Niels is very, very dangerous with this short jump cue. Very good at this kind of shot. And I'm not sure if he's trying to play a jump bank inside middle. That tells me no, he was just going for distance. And Phil, this is what I like about the dry break aspect of pool, because the balls, there's more balls on the table, so there's a bit more traffic in the way. So you get to see a few more shots, a bit more imagination. This looks pretty sporting from Mr. Alcaide. Nice little shot there.
Yeah, skipping the handcuffs on.
Niels wasting no time there. Getting the jump cue again. There is a possibility of a full-length
Extension call.
bank shot here if he hits it correct. And that will leave distance. But sometimes you can scratch across into the corner pocket on this type of shot. Pretty good effort. And a pretty good end result. So you see Niels, if you ever see a player just touch the table with a cue, it's like an apology. But inside, I don't think he's that sorry, Phil.
Purely etiquette. Good manners, nothing else.
Yeah, nice little shot there. You've got to have good eyes for that kind of shot. Niels can see the edge of this, so depending on how much he can see, he might try and get in behind the red 3 ball. If he can't see enough of it, it'll be a similar shot to David. And there you have it. This looks even better.
Tactically, for much of this rack, he's had his back against the wall, Feijen, but now he does have the initiative.
Yeah, it's a cagey start to this rack. Now David's trying to hit top side of the 2 here, just purely to leave distance. The cue ball will go up top. Oh, he's completely misjudged that one.
And with the balls as they are, no clusters, nothing awkward. You have to fancy the defending champion to tidy up here.
Yeah, it's been spoke about already about players in the first round having a game on the table, but Niels is no stranger to the TV arena, winning many events of all kinds. So I don't think it'll be too much trouble.
He's one of those sportsmen, Carl, who completely explodes the myth that nice guys don't finish first. He's a great advert for the game. A really good bloke.
Yeah, one of the nicer guys on tour.
And as you can see, when he's on these shots, he's very, very right-eyed.
Yeah, I think he is partially blind in one eye, to be honest. And like you say, he does cue really down one side, doesn't he?
Alex Lally has told me that in the past, so you are correct in that call.
Niels is one of them, though. He hits a good ball, doesn't he? You know, he strikes a cue ball with authority. Very positive.
Well, this is quintessential cue sports. He won the tactical exchange, and then when he got the chance to go on the offensive, he's been bob on.
And this 9-ball to open up Niels' account, the defending champion. 1-0.
Yes, the Terminator terminates rack 1 efficiently. He's been a professional now for almost 20 years as Niels Feijen, age 42, from The Hague in the Netherlands, and he won this rack as an indirect result of that mistake from David Alcaide. Caught the 8-ball instead of the 2, and after that we strongly suspected it was going to be plain sailing, and it most certainly was. You know, you were mentioning the fact that the European Mosconi Cup captain Marcus Schumacher was going to be watching this one. Very interesting stat about the Dafabet World Pool Masters over the years. It's not an official qualifying event, but when we've had an American or a European winner in a particular year, only on one occasion have they not been in the European team subsequently in that particular year. So if you win this, basically, you're Mosconi Cup bound. And talking of the Mosconi Cup, it takes place on the 25th to the 28th of November at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Tickets still available. Go to mosconicup.com.
Second rack, Niels Feijen's to break, leading 1 rack to
It's
go.
being billed as repeat or revenge. Will the Americans repeat, or the Europeans extract revenge? I think the Europeans will still go into the match as favourites, even though they don't hold the cup. And maybe Niels Feijen will be there.
That's a fabulous break-off shot. His first break in the event. Parks the cue ball in the middle of the table, makes a ball, and look what he's got here. You see it again, bang, cue ball, straight in the middle. That's what you're always trying to get. Gets a little nudge, but it's still in the middle. I think Niels has always been a bit of a slow starter, but I must say he looks pretty good so far.
His victory here last year was really heartwarming. He'd been out of the sport competitively for quite some time with the injury. Didn't really know what was going to happen on his return. What happened? Well, it was perfect. He won the tournament.
Yeah, I just wish he'd have been a bit injured a bit longer, Phil, because he beat me in the semis. Key shot there on the 4 is just make sure you've got an angle on the 5. If you've no angle on the 5, very difficult to get on the brown 7 because it's on the opposite side of the table. So it's pretty sporty where he is there.
Well, a very different rack to the first. That was a dry break and then a lengthy safety duel. This looks like being a crunching break. Rack over in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, even that shot on the 7, it was crucial you don't land low on the 8 ball, because then you're not sending the cue ball around the houses, just rolling it in.
They say there's a lot of pressure when you return to a tournament in any sport as the defending champion. Well, if there is pressure on Niels Feijen, he's disguising it very well indeed. He leads David Alcaide by 2 racks to 0. And it was all about the break-off. Balls in, 1 on, 2 in the open, 3 in the open. You can't ask for more than that. That's the kind of break-off, Carl, you dream about.
Yeah, that is the, you know, the aim of 9-ball pool. When you're breaking off, you're trying to stop that cue ball in the middle of the table. That gives you a better vision all around the table on your next shot.
Last year, he beat some fine players to win this title, did Niels Feijen, and David Alcaide is another potentially tough hurdle. Feijen will be pleased so far, but he will be under no illusions. The job is far from done.
Rack number 3, Niels Feijen to break, leading 2 racks to 0.
Now we get another look at his break. I'd love to have the exact same control as the previous one. There you see it again. Look at that. And look at this. Do you remember last year, Phil? He put a breaking clinic on last year as well.
It was very interesting there. The first thing he did is, as soon as he saw the ball stop, not look at the 1, not look at the 2, was to look to see whether the 3-6 combo was on. That's how confident he is, that's how far he's thinking.
Yeah, and unluckily for David, the red 3 and the green 6 ball are a perfect combination shot. So it's just a case of, he stood over here now because he wants to make sure he leaves a nice angle on the 2, which will guarantee position to get over that side of the table. So there's still a bit of work to do. It's not guaranteed.
You're right, Colin, you have to believe the 3-6 is there. The key, of course, is to knock in the 6 and retain position on the 3.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's going to be concerned about.
Extension called.
That's the only sort of place he could get to. So unless he can hold this, you've got to really cue this shot well. It's such a big angle, so you've got to soft hands and just kill the cue ball. Yeah, he's made a bit of a mess of that one. That was because you know you've just got to time it so well. It's a shot where you've got no room for error, and you decelerate a lot on that kind of shot. That's what he's done there. He's just having a look to see if the 4 passes the orange 5. If it doesn't, he's got a tricky little shot here, that's David. And there you see, I think it'll just sneak in. But he's still got to get on it. Cue ball's travelling a lot here. Couple of cushions.
Extension called.
It's a 30-second shot clock in operation for all of the 23 matches in this year's Dafabet World Pool Masters, and in each rack both players have one 30-second extension, which Alcaide is taken advantage of there, and he's played the shot inch perfect.
Yeah, tremendous shot that. Couldn't have put that better if you had ball in hand. Got a good crowd in for this match, Phil. A lot of the Alcaide fans have shown up for this one.
Yes, he always receives terrific support here. When he won a couple of years ago, it was a phenomenal atmosphere that night. It was all about that 3-6 combination. It didn't work out for Feijen. It did for David Alcaide, and that's why the Spaniard has pulled one back. Feijen still in front, but the lead eroded to 2 racks to 1. More from the Dafabet World Pool Masters, the start of round number 2 here this afternoon after the break.
Right, number 4.
Welcome back, everyone, to
David
the Victoria
Alcaide.
Stadium. It's the Tercentenary Hall in this complex. Again, the venue for the Dafabet World Pool Masters. Holland versus Spain in this last 16 clash. And David Alcaide breaking off in rack number 4, trying to tie the scores.
Different kind of break-off shot there, electing for the cut break, trying to make the wing ball. Still can be as affected. Trying to make the wing ball or the one ball in the side. You do see that a lot. I remember back in the days of the World 9-Ball Championship, Phil, where they used to have the speed gun on the break. That was pretty cool.
Shout called.
So the 2 doesn't go.
Yeah, I suppose the 2 ingredients for a successful break: speed, but also timing.
Timing is everything. And this is a tricky little shot. There you see it. Yeah, you might give this one back, you know. Object of playing safe. You want to try and get the 2 ball safe as well as the cue ball, but you're trying to look for a line of balls to give yourself a big target. So he's just looking to see if he can put the 2 ball on the bottom rail and spin the cue ball round back up the top. He's hit the 8, he's made a bit of a mess of this one, you know, and he's left it, just feel like it weren't sort of on.
Well, the push-out battle there, comprehensively won by Alcaide. And look at this table. Inviting. Natural angle on the 2 to get round the back of the 3. Into the same pocket.
Didn't go in clean, so he's not cued that the best. You know, the slide of the tables helped that one. It's been brand new. Yeah, he's landed the wrong side of the 4. So now he's either going to have to play the 5 in the same pocket as the 4, or can he hit it hard enough to get over? His hands are quite close to the 9 ball, as you can see there. Want to be touching that.
Extension called.
Yes, our referee Vivaresco will be keeping a keen eye on this one.
Yeah, he just tried to hit that hard, just dropped a tiny bit short, but he does have a thin cut. But whenever the cue ball is flying around the table, it's easy to lose position. A bit close to his work here, and he might have been a little bit fortunate there, Phil.
I think so. The cue ball just seemed to turn slightly to the left as it came close to the green 6, and that made a massive difference. In the end, it was quite simple.
Yeah, he's still at the table, but it's not been convincing. Again, a little bit short. It's been the story of this rack so far.
Justin Sage missed a similar 9 ball to this last night to win the match, even though he got over the line in the end. That one, though, was a little more straightforward, and of course, being so early in the match, less pressure. David Alcaide does well after losing the first 2 racks. He is back on level terms. Feijen 2, Alcaide 2. That's the decisive 9 ball. It was hard working, that break, there's no doubt about it. Lots of mileage with the cue ball, Cole.
Yeah, early match nerves. But it's one of them, when you don't pop the ball clean into the heart of the pocket, you think, oh, I've not cued that one too well, and it sort of continues. But luckily for him, he did clear the table, and it's 2-2, so, you know, that spurs you on a little bit.
It was a really good start for Niels Feijen. Won a tactical first rack and then broken ran in the second. But he misjudged that 3-6 combination. And ever since, the door has been open for Alcaide to come back. Alcaide, the first Spaniard ever to represent Europe in the Mosconi Cup. That was in 2006. winning this event
Track
a
number
couple of years
5,
ago was the highlight of
David
his
Alcaide
individual
break.
career. Of that, there is
2
absolutely
racks
no
all.
doubt. And he was also a semi-finalist in the 2011 WPA World 8-Ball Championship. He's been there, done that, and competed at the highest level on many occasions.
Again, as you see, electing for the cut break, so both players breaking differently, both as effective as the other though. And this looks a pretty tasty split. There you see the wing ball, straight in the pocket. And this happens quite a lot, Phil. Sometimes if the one ball doesn't go in the side, it does come to 2 rails over this kind of pocket where you break from. So he's kind of playing that type of break. But there's a bit of distance in this. Cue ball's got to go a long way. Off the 2 cushions. That was a better pot. Hit that beautiful, you know, in the heart of the pocket.
Yes, with just a trace of left-hand side, widening the angle off 2 cushions. Excellent. His best shot for me of the match so far.
I mean, sometimes when you hit the ball and you know yourself you've not hit it good and it doesn't go in clean, you're happy it's gone in, but you know, it's not a confidence builder. But the one ball, the way he struck it there, that will make him feel good, there's no doubt about it. And this is basically just connect your dots, just make sure you've got a nice angle on the pink 4 after this shot, so you can naturally come over for the 5, and then they're all there. A lot of amateur players out there. A little tip for you here, make sure you don't find the line of the middle pocket anywhere high or low. And the tension in your arm, there you see the angle is took. Not dicing with that middle.
So nearly a home fixture for David Alcaide. The Spanish border is less than half a mile away from this venue. He feels at home here. He's had success here before. And he's looking good. It was a concerning start, falling 2-0 down. Now, though, he's about to take the lead. And that's exactly what he does. Alcaide 3-2 up, and that's 3 racks in succession for the Spaniard, the man from Salamanca. The break was effective. For me, the key that opened the lock to that particular rack was the 1 to the 2. After that, for a player of his standard, it was pretty bog standard.
Players will know the importance of keeping the pressure on, because every time Niels wins a rack, it's silent in the arena, and when David wins a rack, the noise jumps up a level or 2.
This is the 26th edition of the Dafabet World Pool Masters, and on several occasions the defending champion has come into the event and been beaten in the opening round. I'll recall it happened to the great Ralph Suke in Poland a few years back. And no one has won the World Pool Masters more than him, a 6-time champion. You've defended titles, Cole. You've been the World 8-Ball champion. Is there any more pressure on your shoulders when you're coming back and trying to retain a title?
I think it feels a little bit different, the fact that you come in as defending champion.
Rack number 6.
But it's a nice feeling
David
because,
Alcaide to break.
you know, they're not easy to
Leading
win
3
these
racks to
tournaments.
2.
So anytime you can win one, I think you've got to savour that. We're going to have another look at David's break, electing for the cut break. Yeah, the balls didn't seem to split, but there you see it again, the one ball coming over towards his pocket we've spoke about.
Just to complete the circle of talking about defending champions losing in the early stages of the World Masters, you know all about that, Carl, because last year you were the one who beat David Alcaide. You were the party pooper.
Yeah, I forgot about that one, Phil. Thanks for reminding me. Niels is faced with a similar kind of one ball as David in the last rack. Again, that took a little bit of a wobble. Purely the pace helped it in. He's got a little bit of work to do. Because he's got to get from the red 3 to the pink 4, so there's a bit of distance. And then the 6 ball, he's kind of tied up. So it's certainly not a road map as he fires that 2 ball in. A road map is what we call a kind of easy layout, where it's a bit of a dot-to-dot type finish. Yeah, that distance did cause problems because he had to force it, and he's had a massive roll there. This is something which is part of pool. Some days you get away with it, some days you don't. And today he's got away with that one.
Well, quite often in Q Sports they talk about the dreaded double kiss. That was the saviour, the double kiss.
Yeah, and what he has also done is he's opened up this 6 ball. So David's in a tricky spot here. But the 3 does pass the 8. I'm surprised maybe he's a bit close to the 6, so I think he'd jump Q. Rule number 1 here, make sure you hit the 3, don't give ball in hand. Oh, he spins it in out of the pocket. That's a naughty shot, that one. Doesn't look like he has a pot on this, so he's got to play safe. But he'll just be happy he's still at the table.
Yes, and plenty potential cover to hide behind.
And he's trying to get in behind the 8 ball. Play the 4 off a couple of cushions. Not quite hard enough though. Niels can get the cue ball over in this kind of direction. He's got a wall of balls there. What a lovely. As there, he's played it to perfection. And I don't think he can jump. He's got to hit this jump shot really good because there's not much space between these 2 balls. This is why the jump cue comes in 2 parts as well. So when the cue ball's near the object ball, you need to play it with the shorter version of the jump cue. This is not easy. He's nailed it! Wow! Phil, we're having jumping masterclass in this year's World Masters.
Well, that's the second ball he spotted in this match, jumping.
And there you could see the height of the cue ball. Straight over 2 balls. Stop the cue ball perfect. And earlier on, where Niels did fluke the snooker, it did open up this pocket for the 6. So it's actually helped David. Oh no! What's he done there?
Put it in your pocket.
The 6 is literally hanging on the precipice. Having said that, it caught so much of the near jaw. Had it gone in, that would have been a travesty.
Yeah, he's missed a trick there. He'll know the importance of this because it's a momentum thing.
Extension call.
And that 6 ball is real deep in the jaws there. I mean, these can be funky to get back out. That's why he's drawing it straight back by the looks of it. Yeah, he's made a mess of that one. This rack has got everything going on.
He tried to take the reaction off the jaw out of the equation by drawing straight back, but just didn't get hold of it.
Pretty good effort there as well. I think Davey's going to try and come in at this kind of angle, kick it one rail. There's a chance it can go in the middle, but distance is key. Yeah, didn't want to hit it like that. No, there is distance, and we have seen Niels missing this pocket earlier on.
This could be the biggest shot of the entire contest. Well, not met with any great acclaim from the crowd.
Yeah, it was silent there, wasn't it? Same again, distance, screwing the cue ball back. Made a mess of the last one when he was drawing back. And he's done it again. Listen, he's not cueing good out there. He is not cueing good. And he's been fortunate again not to leave an easy shot. This is turning into a huge, huge rack in this match. David is going to just chip off this ball and try and get the cue ball all the way back down for distance. He'd love this to keep rolling, get on the rail. Yeah, it's a pretty good shot. These are horrible shots because I don't think it's an easy bank shot, like a natural bank. And the cue ball's flying around the table. Yeah, he's gone. He's tried to bank it there, but it was such a difficult shot. David played a nice safety there, and he's given himself an opportunity.
Yes, Feijen got away with the missed 8 ball, but he didn't get away with that one.
Sorry, Phil.
I'm just going to say mistakes from Feijen you just don't expect.
Yeah, but when, like I said, when you're just not cueing quite right, you just, you know, the tension gets up. And this is a little thin one in the middle. Dealt with it nicely. The crowd wasn't silent then. What a rack we've had here.
Four racks in succession for David Alcaide. Having lost the first 2, it means he's more than halfway to becoming the first player to book his place in the quarterfinals of this Dafabet World Pool Masters. No wonder he's smiling. More pool. in a moment. Rack 6 in our opening match of the day was so eventful. Multiple mistakes from Niels Feijen and some brilliance from his opponent David Alcaide, escaping from a hook, potting a ball, jumping and potting one, and then missing a very simple 6. We thought Feijen was going to salvage the rack. Poor positional shot, great 7 ball, but then the 8 went astray. Who would have thought it? The whole gamut of emotions run by both players in a single rack, and in the end it fell to Alcaide. David Alcaide leads Niels Feijen by 4 racks to 2. He needs 3 more to advance to the quarterfinals.
Number 7, David Alcaide to break, leading 4 racks to 2.
Yeah, that rack there had everything. That was a real cracking rack to watch. Again, we see the cup break. Didn't hit him convincing, but he has made the 1 ball in the side, and if this blue 2 ball goes in the corner,
well, I don't know whether it's a good omen or not, but in the first round yesterday, Alcaide led Francisco Sanchez Ruiz 4-2 and went on to win 7-3. And there's the answer to your question, Carl. The blue 2 flies in.
yeah, I did see him point at the 8 ball as if like he was going to try and play it off the edge of the 8. So that would open the pocket up for the 4 ball. That's a brave shot. Yeah, I much prefer that option. And he'd love to get the cue ball as close as he possibly can off this 3 for the combination shot, because whenever you've got distance,
Extension call.
it makes the shot a lot harder. Nasty little shot, this one. There's distance. You've got to make sure you, the 8 looks pretty thin as well as then retaining position on the 4. So there's a lot going on here. You see, aiming at the bottom of the cue ball.
Foul.
Well, Phil, I'm not sure what's going on there.
I think the common phrase used by commentators on Q Sports these days when it's a mystery shot like that is answers on a postcard.
I do believe he were playing safe. I'm shocked at that one.
Well, undoubtedly he was playing safe. I'm certainly shocked at the execution.
I honestly thought he was going to play the combination. It did look on. It weren't an easy shot, but after the last rack, I just think you've got to, you know, stick the knife in and really punish your opponent. Last thing you want to do is give ball in hand and let Niels Feijen back in the match.
And on shots like that, do matches turn. I'm sure Niels Feijen can't believe his luck.
Yeah, David's missed a trick there. Nine-ball pools are a very attacking game. It's not often you come out on top playing safe. I'm a firm believer you should go out there and shoot them lights out.
You have to say that was a gift. Not from the gods, but from David Alcaide. Terrible shot. And Feijen basically had the simplest of tasks to get one back. So the score is now 4-3. And this is the shot in question. What happened, Cole? What happened?
It was such a difficult shot he was attempting because he had to like stun it off the 4 ball, off the side cushion in behind the 8.
We've talked about Niels Feijen being the defending champion, and that is correct, of course. But he's won this tournament on 2 occasions. Originally, his victory came in Barnsley at the Metrodome in England when he defeated Darren Appleton 8-6 in the final. Darren was so disappointed because, of course, that tournament was in his native Yorkshire. He would have loved to have captured the title there on home soil.
Yeah, former winner, Darren Appleton. Lost in a couple of finals as well. Shane beat him in Manchester.
Yes, Appleton beat a good friend of Niels Feijen, actually, Nick Vandenberg, to win this title in 2009 in Las Vegas.
I remember that one. What stands out most is Daz had hair then. And there you see Niels. 2 contrasting breaks. Parks the cue ball again. And he does have a shot on the 1 ball. But his next ball is the red 3. And it's at the bottom of the table, so this cue ball will be travelling. Yeah, he'll be hitting this ball very hard. He'll be going minimum 3 cushions, possibly off the 4th. And I don't think this is going to come out good. Very difficult shot there. Nearly got there.
The only escape route seems to be off the near cushion, and when you're doing that, it's so hard to judge. Maybe up the table you'll have to go and take the cue ball an awful lot of distance.
Yeah, as Phil says there, off this little short cushion, the one he's next to, he'd love to go there. Possibly at the bottom rail as well. No, he's made a mess of that one. So he's got himself back in the match off an Alcaide mistake. And now he's gifted David cue ball in hand.
When you're playing towards a cushion, as I said before, which is very close to the cue ball, judging angles, well, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, because it can, especially when you're bridging over a ball, it kind of jumps up as you've seen there. And it's fair to say both players a little bit edgy. Maybe they've got that Mosconi Cup in the back of their mind, Phil.
Or maybe in the front of their minds. It's such a big occasion these days, the annual transatlantic battle between Europe and the USA. By far pool's highest profile event over the 4 days there. And it's so tough to make the respective teams, only 5 from each continent.
Yeah, and it's got a bit of a unique feel to it this year because Europe will be going to Las Vegas not as defending champions.
Although the green 6 was close to the pocket, that wasn't quite as simple as it looked.
Yeah, on a 9-ball pool table, the middles from acute angles do look like they don't exist. That's why sometimes you see the players rather shoot the ball down the rail, because you know they're more forgiving. He's pretty good here though. A nice angle, so you don't have to force this ball in.
Just a little bit jabby with the cue there, I thought, but the black ball found the target okay.
Yeah, David's one of them players where he does cue a bit jabby.
Tell you what though, he has restored that 2-rack cushion. And it was all about the self-imposed snooker from Niels Feijen. He absolutely belted the 1 ball, but not quite hard enough. All around the table it went. In the end though, all he succeeded in doing was placing himself in more than a spot of bother. Then the 3 ball wasn't contacted, and from there, Alcaide stepped in. So 5-3 it is. Alcaide needs just 2 more racks to go through.
Yes, and the previous 2 racks, both players have given their opponent ball in hand.
It's certainly an outcome that's pleasing the crowd so far. Can't overstate Niels Feijen's career CV. It's absolutely fantastic. World 9-ball champion in 2014. He won the World Straight Pool Championship in 2008. As we've said, twice World Masters champion. He's a 10-time winner on the Euro Tour. European 9-ball champion back-to-back in 2013 and 12 months later. European Straight Pool champion 7 times. The list
9.
goes on.
David Alcaide to break, leading 5 racks to 3.
Feijen's also been the most valuable player at the Mosconi Cup 4 times, but he's not been the most valuable player in this match thus far. Don't think Alcaide's too happy with the rack there. He's gesticulating. Maybe a few gaps have appeared.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone that's just tuning in, wondering why the player looks at the rack, the idea is if you can get the balls all tight, they will split better. It's a dry break, Phil.
He knew, didn't he? He knew when he got down and looked at them. I think that was the case last night, actually. Kelly Fisher won the first 2 racks against Shane Van Boning, and she said to me afterwards that she got down for the 3rd rack and looked at the balls and realised they weren't exactly best placed for a beneficial break for her. Nothing went, and the rest is history. Van Boning reel off the next 7.
Yes, and Kelly Fisher will be joining your good self in the box for the next match. So a treat for you there.
Yes, what a Q Sports giant Kelly Fisher has been over the years. And by the way, the winner of this contest in the quarterfinals will play the winner of our next match, Han Yu against SVB, Shane Van Boning.
Extension called.
You can just see there, Niels has overrun the first shot, so he's got to judge this. He's going into the balls. Yeah, that's the problem. When you're cannoning into other balls, you've always got to try and judge it. It shows his disgust there with that shot. Ball needs to hit a rail. Is the 4 ball going to reach? Just got there.
Even so, the red 3 ball in mid-table, very much on. Alcaide looking to strike again.
And for anybody watching who is not familiar with the rules of 9-ball, after contact you must hit a rail unless pocketing a ball. And this is a pretty good chance for David now. And it's a huge rack because this will get him on the hill. That looks pretty good. Looks like he's got a natural angle now to stun over for the green 6. Oh, where's the cue ball going? Oh, wowzers. He's hit that all wrong and he's been fortunate there. We said before, didn't we, Phil, how tight these middles are from these angles, and look at this one. I thought that was a goner.
He's thankful they are tight. And I'll tell you what, had the cue ball only bounced maybe a centimetre short of where it did, he might have been blocked out here by the jaw. I think he can get through to the 6, no issue. There you can see just how sharply those jaws are cut.
Oh, he's electing to play the follow-through shot here, so he needs to pinch a bit of the pocket. No, he's hit that one. He's hit that one really good. That'll give him a bit of confidence again after nearly scratching. And as a player, you do know the importance of getting on the hill with such a big gap, because you do feel like you will get another opportunity. I think he's left himself kind of hampered with a 9, with where the 9-ball is. He'd like to have come over a little bit more. So it's not over yet, this one. Yeah, he's got to leave himself long. Whenever you leave yourself long like this, it's easy to put a bit of unwanted side on it. Plays it well.
The audience loving this. When the 9-ball goes down, it will be a very popular pot. The defending champion at the Dafabet World Pool Masters is teetering on the brink of defeat. Conversely, David Alcaide is on the hill. He leads 6-3, one more rack required for victory. More pool in just a moment. David Alcaide finds himself on the verge of victory after sinking that 9-ball in rack number 9. Alcaide leads the defending champion, Niels Feijen, 6-3. The Dafabet World Pool Masters of 2019 so far for him has gone very different to the way it went in 2018. Now, David Alcaide's not been pleased with the rack, but I noticed that Nigel Rees, the senior referee here, went and had a look at the table between racks, and so maybe he's a little more content with this configuration of balls.
Yeah, and there you see the difference there, the wing ball straight in. So he stays at the table.
Hello, Cole, look at this, eh? Look at this.
Yep. This is his opportunity for rack and match to put himself into the quarter-finals and knock out our defending champion.
You can't say he's been flawless. He missed a very simple green 6-ball, I recall. But he has been the better of the two players. Of that, there's no debate.
Yeah, Niels Feijen not been at the races today. Missed a few balls and some poor positional shots. This is more or less match shot. If you can just judge the pace to get on the 4, this is the only kind of shot where I can see making a mistake. Looks pretty good.
No player here has got more support than David Alcaide. His Spanish friends and followers have come across the border. La Linea is the town on the border here. They've streamed into Gibraltar to give him all of the backing that he would ever need. There they are. And they're just about to explode in celebration. 3 balls away from, I repeat, knocking out the title holder.
No, he has landed a little bit straight on this 5-ball.
Extension called.
So I don't know if he's going to try and manufacture an angle, or is he going to just draw back a little bit to play the 8-ball into the top left pocket. That's what he's doing. Not too bad. Another roll would have been lovely, but from this kind of angle, when you're playing it into the pocket, you know you can cheat the pocket a little bit.
The king is almost dead. He is dead. Niels Feijen, the defending champion, loses his opening match on his return to Gibraltar. The king today is King David Alcaide, repeating his 7-3 win over Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz in the first round, this time beating Niels Feijen 7-3 into the quarterfinals. He goes.
Two heavyweights of the sport have just gone head-to-head in this opening session of day 2 of the Dafabet World Pool Masters, and it's the Spaniard David Alcaide who has come out on top ahead of the current champion Niels Feijen. So there's the confirmation, a 7-3 victory for Alcaide. Up next in just a couple of moments, Han Yu, the women's world #1 against Shane Van Bonen. Kopinyi is against Alex Pagulayan, third up. And finally in this afternoon session, Alexander Gazakis against Jason Sayed. So lots to look forward to. And lots to look forward to for David Alcaide, because he is through to the quarterfinals after beating Niels Feijen. David, congratulations. Are you playing the best that you can at the moment?
I don't know. This tournament, remember 2 years ago, I played unbelievable. I play not perfect, but 95% from my game. Today, I don't have a good break. Two times I make the ball, but I have lucky in the break. But they're trying to play better next round.
How much did your fans help you in that one?
Yeah, it's very...
Because there's lots of them.
Yeah, it's very important when you play next to my home. My home is from to Malaga, is 200 kilometers or less. It's very important for me, the support for my all fans. I love all of my fans.
They definitely love you as well. You can tell by the noise that they were making. Finally, you're going to stay behind to watch this next match because you play the winner of Han Yu against Shane Van Boening.
Yeah, I watch the match, but when you play this tournament, every player is top player in the world. You don't need too much. You need play perfect.
Well, congratulations, David. You played perfect, and you're going through to the quarter-finals where you'll face either Han Yu, who is the women's world #1, or a two-time winner, a back-to-back winner of this competition, Shane Van Boening. They're next.